Hello and welcome to Pabbly. So today in this video, we are going to learn how to create Zoho CRM contact tasks for Calendly Invitee. Now suppose guys you are using Calendly as an appointment and event booking platform, using which the users can book an appointment with you, and Zoho CRM as a CRM application. Now you want that whenever a new invitee is created in Calendly, a new user books an appointment with you in Calendly, you want to create a contact task for the same user, for the same contact in Zoho CRM. So let me tell you, you can actually automate this complete process with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you also want to know how you can set up this automation, for that you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Calendly to Zoho CRM. And then just click on Create. Now you can see that a workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on. Where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with the trigger window. Now the idea here is we have created an event in our Calendly account. And now we want that using this Calendly event, this Calendly booking page, whenever a customer, a user or a contact books an appointment, an event with us, we want to create a task for the same contact in our Zoho CRM account. So we want to get the details of the new bookings from Calendly and we want to search for the user who has made the booking in Zoho CRM. And for that user, for that contact in Zoho CRM, we want to create a task regarding the same event, the same meeting which they have scheduled. So we are going to set up the today's automation workflow in such a way. So let's begin. And we are going to start with the trigger window. First, we are going to connect our Calendly account with Pabbly Connect in the trigger window so that we can get the details of the user who are scheduling the booking with us. So we are going to select Calendly in our trigger window. Now here, after selecting the application as Calendly, in trigger event from this drop down, select invitee created as the trigger event. After selecting a trigger event, just click on connect and select add new connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our Calendly account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, just click on this connect with Calendly button. And now you can see that our Calendly account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the first thing it asks us is the organization. So here, if you have created multiple organizations in your Calendly account, in this dropdown, you will get a list of all the organizations over here. And the new invitees or new event bookings from which particular organization you want to receive inside Pabbly Connect. You have to select that organization over here. After selecting the organization, it is asking us for the user. So it is most likely possible that you might have added multiple users in your Calendly account. So for which particular user you want to get the event booking appointments from Calendly inside Pabbly Connect, you have to select that user as well. Right now in my Calendly account, I have only one user and one organization. That's why in these dropdowns, you can see only one options as of now. After this, there's an important note which says, make sure you have a Calendly Pro plan in order to use this integration. So here guys, to connect Calendly with Pabbly Connect in the trigger window, to get the new invitee details from Calendly inside Pabbly Connect, it is necessary to have a Calendly Pro plan. Only in that case, only with the Calendly Pro plan, you can set up this connection over here. After this guys, just click on this Save and Send Test Request button. And when we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that it has changed to Waiting for Response. This means Pabbly Connect is waiting to get some response, some details of a new invitee being created in our Calendly account. So let's do it. We will go to a Calendly account and here I have created an event named as Pabbly Connect Demo. So we are going to book a test appointment. We are going to create a test event over here. In a new tab, I'll just paste the link of this event, that is Pabbly Connect Demo. And let's take an example. For 20th of June, we are going to schedule a booking, an appointment over here. Let's select the time as, for example, 3 p.m. Click on Next. Let's enter the details of the user. So name of the person is Demo User. This is the email address of this person. And this is the mobile number over here. and click on schedule event. So just now, as a test user, as a dummy user, we have scheduled an event, scheduled a booking on our Calendly event booking page. Now, because we have connected our Calendly account with Pabbly Connect, we will see in our Pabbly Connect workflow in this trigger window, we will receive the response. And in this response, guys, you will see the details of the exact same event booking which we have made just now. Here you can see the same email address which we have entered just now. Then we will scroll down. Here you can see the same name of the person, demo user. Here you can see the same mobile number, and also you can see some other details, like you can see the time zone of the person. Scroll down further. Then you can see the updated, that at what date and time this event was last updated. Then here you can see a response named as end time. And also we will scroll down further, and here you can see a response named as start time over here. So guys, we have basically scheduled this appointment on our Calendly booking page for 20th of June from 3 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. This was the date and time for which we have booked or scheduled this appointment. And here in response, you can see that we have received the same start date and time and end date and time of the appointment. That at what date and time this appointment is going to start, and at what date and time this appointment is going to end. So here guys, you will see the start date and time over here is 20th of June 2023, but the time over here is 9:30 a.m. over here. But we have scheduled this appointment from 3 p.m. But the time which we have received inside Pabbly Connect is 9:30 a.m. This is because we have scheduled this appointment according to the Indian Standard Time. But while sending the new invitee details, new appointment details from Calendly to Pabbly Connect, Calendly sends us the data in UTC time zone. So there is a change of time zone, right? We have scheduled the appointment according to Indian time zone, and we have received the start date and time and end date and time of this appointment according to UTC time zone. That's why here you will see in this response of start date and time and end date and time, there is a difference of 5 hours and 30 minutes. And also in end time, you will notice the same. This is the same date, but the time over here is 10 a.m. But the time should be 3:30 p.m. over here. So there's a difference of 5 hours and 30 minutes in both of the date and time, start date and time and end date and time as well. So what we are going to do, before moving further, we have to basically convert this start date and time and end date and time of the appointment according to the Indian time zone. And also guys, here we can see that this date and time is received in pretty complex format. We have to change this into a simpler format as well. So I'm just taking an example of converting this UTC date and time into Indian time zone. But instead of Indian time zone, you can basically select any time zone of your choice from where you are. So to convert this end time and start time of the event into our Indian time zone and change the format, we will be using a feature, a module of Pabbly Connect that is called date time formatter. So we will just scroll down, come to our action window, and here in choose app, we will search for date time formatter and select it. After selecting date time formatter in action event from the drop down, select the action event as format date with time zone, and then just click on connect. After clicking on connect, the first thing it asks us is the date, that what is the date whose format and time zone we want to change. So first we want to change the format and time zone of the start time of the event, of the appointment. So what we have to do, we have to basically map this response of start time which we have received from Calendly over here in this date field of date time formatter. So we are going to map this response of start time from this trigger response to this action step over here. And guys, the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field, and here in this drop down, you will see a list of all the responses which we have received from Calendly of a new invitee, of a new appointment booking. Out of all of these responses, select this response of resource start time. Just select this response and it will be mapped over here. So whatever date and time of the appointment the user is going to select in our Calendly booking page, the same response will be received inside Pabbly Connect according to UTC time zone and in this format. And using date time formatter, we are going to change the format and the time zone of same date and time. Now after mapping the date, the next thing it asks us is from format, that in which particular format this date and time is present right now. So in this format, this date and time is present right now of year, month, dates and hours, minutes and seconds. So we have selected this from format. Then in to format from this drop down, you have to select that format, that in which particular format we want to change this date and time into. So let's select this format as this day, month, year, hours, minutes and seconds. This is a pretty simple format which we can use. So I'm going to select this to format over here. Then in from time zone, as I told you, we have to select UTC over here because we have received this date and time according to UTC time zone from Calendly. And in to time zone, we are going to select Asia, Kolkata. Asia, Kolkata. Just select it over here. So because we want to convert this date and time into Asia Kolkata time zone, because I'm in India and in India we follow the Asia Kolkata time zone over here. But instead of this guys, if you are from some other country or if you want to change this start date and time according to some other time zone, you can select the two time zone over here of your choice. And then just click on save and send test request. After clicking on save and send test request, here you can see that we have received the response. And in this response, you can see the exact same date and time for which we have scheduled the appointment. The date was 28th of June. Here you can see the same date, 28th of June 2023. And the time was 3 p.m. The start date and time was 3 p.m. as you can see over here. So we have successfully converted the format and the time zone of start date and time of the event. Now we have to perform the same process for end date and time of the event as well. So here we have received the response of end date and time. This is also in UTC time zone and up in a pretty complex format. So we are going to change the format and time zone for that as well. So we will just scroll down and we have to actually perform this exact same action step of date time formatter once again. So instead of adding this once again, you can actually copy this action step and paste it as well. Just click on these three dots in front of it, click on this copy step button and it will be copied. Once again, click on this three dot and click on paste step over here. And when we click on paste step, here you can see this exact same action step with all the selected fields is pasted below. Now in this action step, because we want to change the format and the time zone of end date and time, here in this date field, clear this response of start time and from the drop down from Calendly responses, select the response of end date and time. So using this action step, we are going to change the format and the time zone of end date and time. You can basically keep rest of the things as it is, like from format is the same, to format is also the same, from time zone is also the same, and to time zone is also the same. After this, just click on save and send test request and we will see we will get a response of the format and the time zone change of the end date and time. So here you can see the same date and the time is 3:30 p.m. The end time of this appointment was 3:30 p.m. over here. So we have successfully changed the format and the time zone of the event start date, appointment start date and end date. Now let's move to the next step. In the next step, we want to create a task for this particular contact in our Zoho CRM account. But before creating the task, we have to search that whether do we have this user who has booked an appointment in our Zoho CRM account as a contact or not. And to search it, we will just scroll down and click on this add action step button over here. And because we want to search for this contact in Zoho CRM, here in action step in choose app, we are going to search for Zoho CRM. Just select it. After selecting Zoho CRM in action event from this drop down, select the action event as search contact. Then just click on connect and select add new connection over here. So here guys, we have to connect our Zoho CRM account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, click on this connect with Zoho CRM button. Now when we click on it, the first thing it asks us is the domain. That what is the domain of our Zoho CRM account. Now to get the domain, just log into your Zoho CRM account and here in the URL section, you can see the domain. Like the domain of my Zoho CRM account is zoho.in. So we just have to copy the domain from there and paste it over here. If you want, you can copy the domain or search for the domain from this drop down as well. That your domain is zoho.com or your Zoho account domain is zoho.com.au or zoho.eu, zoho.in or zoho.com.cn. So out of all of this, there must be a domain for your Zoho account. You have to enter that domain over here and then just click on save. Now because I have already logged into my Zoho CRM account in my browser, Pabbly Connect has detected this same account over here. We will just scroll down and click on this accept button over here. And when we click on accept, we will see our Zoho CRM account will get connected with Pabbly Connect in this action step. After making this connection, the only thing it asks us is the email. that what is the email address of the contact which we want to search on our Zoho CRM account. So while getting the new appointment details from Calendly, we have also asked the user for their email address. And here in this trigger response, we have received this response of email. So from these responses of Calendly, we are going to map the response of email, resource email over here in this email field of Zoho CRM step. Just click on this field and here from the drop down from Calendly responses, select the response of email and map it. And after mapping the email address, just click on Save and Send Test Request. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received the response. And in this response, you will get all the details of the contact whose email address we have mapped over here. Basically, while making the appointment, the user has entered their email address, and using that email address, we have basically searched for the contact in our Zoho CRM account. So here you can see the owner ID of the contact, the owner email, the contact email address. Then we will scroll down further, and here you can see this response of data 0 ID. This is the unique contact ID. Now, if the user who has booked an appointment, if that user do exist in our Zoho CRM account as a contact, then using this action step, we will get this response of contact ID. And if the user who has entered their details and email address, that contact does not exist in our Zoho CRM account, in that case, we won't be getting any response over here. This response of data ID will be missing over here. So guys, what we are going to do, we are going to set up a filter condition after this. Like using search contact, we have received the data ID, the contact ID basically, and you can see all the other details of the same contact, like the name, and also you can see the mobile number over here. So guys, we are going to set up a filter condition that if we get this response of create ID, that this data ID over here, only in that case, we are going to create a task for this contact in Zoho CRM. If the contact, the user who has booked an appointment with us on our Calendly page, if that user already does not exist in our Zoho CRM account, in that case, we won't be creating any task because that contact does not exist. Using this automation, we won't be creating any task over here as well. So guys, first we have to add a filter condition that if we get this response of data ID, if the contact do exist in our Zoho CRM, only then this automation workflow should be executed further. And for that, we will just scroll down and click on this Add Action Step button over here. And then here in Choose App, we are going to select Filter. After selecting Filter by Pabbly, here the first thing it asks us is Select Label. Now here in Select Label, we are going to select this label of Data 0 ID. So from the drop down, from Zoho CRM Responses, select this response of Data 0 ID. And then in filter type from this drop down, we are going to select exist over here and click on Save and Send Test Request. So here guys, we have added a filter condition that using this search contact action step, if we get this response of data ID, only in that case, this automation workflow will be continued further. And because we have received this response of data ID, that's why this filter step is showing us that the condition is true. So we have successfully added this filter condition. Now let's create a task for this contact in our Zoho CRM account. Just click on this Add Action Step button. And then here in Choose App, we are going to once again search for Zoho CRM. Just select it. After selecting Zoho CRM, in Action Event from this drop down, select the action event as Create Contact Task. So we will just scroll down and select the action event over here, Create Contact Task. Then just click on Connect and select Add New Connection. But here guys, we have already connected our Zoho CRM account in the previous step. So we don't have to make a new connection over here. You can select the existing connection and click on Save. After clicking on Save, the first thing it asks us is the owner. That who is the owner of the contact for which we want to create the task. So using the search contact action step, we have received this response of owner ID as well. So from this response, we are going to map the owner ID of this contact over here in this field of owner. So just turn the mapping button on and clear this default response. And after that, from the drop down, from Zoho CRM search contact action step, select the response of owner ID and map it over here. So in this way, whoever will be the owner of that contact with the same owner ID, the task will be created in our Zoho CRM account for that particular contact. After mapping the owner ID, it is asking us for the contact. that for which particular contact we want to create task. So every time we are going to get the booking on our Calendly page for a new user. This means every time a new contact will be there. For a new contact, we want to create the contact task. So we are going to map the response of contact ID as well. Just turn this mapping button on, clear the default response, and from Zoho CRM, as we discussed, we have received this response of contact ID, data 0 ID. Just select it and map it over here as well. After contact ID, the next thing it asks us is the subject. That what is the subject line for this particular task which we are going to create. So I want my subject line to be, first I want to mention the name. So from Calendly responses, I'm going to mention the name of the person, and then I want my subject line to be demo user has scheduled an appointment with us. This is basically the subject line of the task which we are going to create. We will be mentioning the name of the person and then has scheduled an appointment with us. Then we have the description. So I want my description of the task to be appointment details. And then here we are going to mention the start date and time. And then from date time formatter, we have basically received the correct date and time format and time zone of start date and time of the appointment. So select the response of correct date and time of the start date and time of the appointment, and then end date and time as well. And using date time formatter, we have corrected the format and the time zone of end date and time as well. So map that response too. Then here we are going to enter some other details like, for example, mobile number. So using Calendly booking page, we have received some other details like mobile number of the user as well. So from Calendly responses, if you want, you can map the response of mobile number as well. In this way, you can basically add any details of the appointment over here. Then it is asking us for the status, that the task which we are creating, what will be the status of that task. So here in this drop down, you can see a list of different status over here. I want the status of all the tasks which I am creating using this automation to be not started. So I will be selecting status as not started over here. Then it is asking us for the due date. So if you want, you can add some due date for these tasks as well. And the due date format will be year, month and date. But right now, because we are mentioning the start date and time and end date and time of the appointment, it is not necessary to enter the due date. So you can ignore this field for now as well. Then it is asking us for the priority. So here I want the priority of these tasks to be normal, not high, not low. We just want it to be normal. So we are selecting normal over here. And at last, it is asking us for the trigger. That do you want to trigger some kind of workflow or automation in your Zoho CRM account using this task? So we don't want to trigger any automation. So let's ignore this trigger field as well for now. And then just click on save and send test request. Now, when we click on save and send test request, you will see here we have received a response from Zoho CRM. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the details which we have entered, which we have mapped over here, using these details, a task has been created for this task. For this contact whose contact ID we have mapped. Basically, the user who has booked an appointment with us, for that user, for that contact in our Zoho CRM account, we have basically created a task. So let's check it. We will go to a Zoho CRM account, we'll go to contacts page, and here we have this contact demo user, using whose details we have booked the appointment. So we'll go to the contact, and yes, here under open activities, you can see that a new task is created. So the title, the subject line of this task is demo user has scheduled an appointment with us. Here you can see the priority of this task is normal and status is not started. The same priority and status which we have selected while setting up the automation. Then you can see the same subject line, and after that, here you can see the same description as well. And in the description, we have added the start date time, end date time of the event of the meeting, and also the mobile number. So this means this automation workflow is working perfectly fine. And using this automation, whenever we are going to receive a new appointment on our Calendly booking page, automatically a task will be created in our Zoho CRM account for the same contact who has booked an appointment with us on Calendly booking page. So guys, after setting up this automation, let's test this automation workflow once. Once again, I'll just copy the event booking link of my Calendly event. For example, let me just copy this link, go to a new tab, and we are going to paste this link. And we are going to make another appointment booking for now. Let's select the date as 22nd of June and time as 11 AM over here. Now here let's enter the details of another dummy user. For example, the name of this person is test user and this is the email address. And this is the dummy mobile number over here. So here guys, we have the details of the user. We are booking this appointment as test user. And you will see in my Zoho CRM account, I already have a contact named as test user. This is the name and this is the email address. So we will see as we book this appointment with this name and email address on our Calendly page, we will see in our Zoho CRM account for this contact, a task will be created. So let's click on the schedule event button. And as we click on schedule event, this appointment is successfully created. The appointment is on 22nd of June from 11 AM to 11:30 AM over here. Now after this guys, we will go back to our Zoho CRM account and refresh this contacts page once. And as we refresh this page, we will see a new task will be created for this exact same contact. And yes, here under open activities, you will see a new task is created. The subject line of this task is test user has scheduled an appointment with us. And here you will see when we open this task, you will see the same details of this task. The priority is normal, status is not started, the same subject line. And here in description, you can see the same start date and time and end date and time of the appointment which we have selected while booking the appointment or while booking the event on our Calendly booking page. So we have tested this automation in real time and this automation is working perfectly fine. So guys, not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing, you will find the clone link of this exact same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone this same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this automation workflow for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down to your suggestion and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.